Hello and welcome, class of 2025. So exciting to be talking about starting high school and picking classes for your freshman year. Hopefully you're as excited as we are. My name is Nicole Tuig. I am one of the counselors here at Amador Valley. I am the counselor for students who have the last name T through Z. So hello to all my students and parents out there. Here's just a little bit of a breakdown of our Amador counseling department. We have incredible, wonderful counselors to help you as you start your high school career. So if you have the last names A through C, you have Miss Perry. Students with the last name D through H is going to be Mr. Helms. I through L, Miss Pacheco. M through P is Miss Bell. Q through S is Ms. Zarenkot or Ms. C. We also have a support counselor who you're going to hear from later. She's incredible. Ms. U, she is here to help our students with any social and emotional challenges they might be facing and help us all focus on wellness overall. She's a very, very wonderful resource for us to have. We also have a great college and career center. And in the career center and college center, we have Ms. Bays and Ms. Woodworth. Also incredible resources. So you guys are going to be well taken care of. You definitely want to get involved at Amador and make sure that you are signed up for all of the ways that you can communicate. So here's just a breakdown of some of the places that you can get connected. You have a PUSD Gmail account. This is definitely the time to start checking your emails and getting into the habit of that. If you haven't been already, we communicate through email a ton in high school. So get in the habit of checking your email. That's where all the important info is going to come first and foremost. We have AVTV in the bulletin. Amador's website is also a fantastic resource. Something to know about athletics is that your second semester middle school grades are what's going to determine your eligibility to play. So what you're getting in your classes right now is really important if you're wanting to play sports in the fall. Amador Express is run by our PTSA. You are going to get an organizer and a planner, which is a great resource. We'll talk about Naviance a little bit later. Our leadership class is incredible about sending out information via Twitter and all the other ways that we communicate as well. We're going to talk about the academies and pathways in a bit. We've got our Dawn Squad. We've got Club Day. We have a text remind system. So if you like getting text messages, be sure to text the code there to the phone number there below to get on our Remind app and get text message reminders from us. And please follow us on Instagram. We have a little competition going, and we want to have the most followers. So please follow us on Instagram at AVHS Counselors, and we're also on Twitter at AVHS Counselors. So great ways to get connected and involved. So our presentation today is going to cover a lot of things, but just kind of a little outline. We're going to talk about credits, high school graduation and college admissions requirements, what a typical 9th grade schedule looks like, some details on math and science and elective courses. We'll talk about honors classes, band, and some of our cool academies. Then I'm going to hand it over to Miss Yu. She's going to talk about creating a balanced course list and four-year plan, our wellness center and support services, how to get in touch with your counselor, and some frequently asked questions. Let's get to it. Okay, what's a credit and how do I earn some? This is high school now, and in high school we earn credits. That was not super important in your schooling prior to now, but now credits are very important because you need credits in order to graduate, and you need credits to be able to be admitted to four-year colleges. So a credit is just a unit that you earn for passing a class. Each class at Amador, each semester is worth 5 credits. So each semester you will have the opportunity to take 30 credits, and each year you have the opportunity to take 60 credits. So you need 230 credits in order to graduate, which if you do some math, you've got 60 credits over 4 years. That gives you 240 credits total, which means you've got 10 credits of wiggle room there. We don't want you to use that wiggle room, but if you do happen to fail a class and not earn the credit for that class, there is a little bit of wiggle room there. So you basically earn a credit by passing a class with a D or better. For graduation, you need a D or better in your classes to earn the credit. For college, you need a C or better in the required courses. We'll go over that in a little bit more depth, but just know D or better passes high school, C or better is college eligibility. So math, let's just look at the math really quick. 6 classes per semester, or 6 classes each year. 5 credits per semester is 30 credits per semester that you could earn. Over the course of the year, that's 60 credits. Over the course of 4 years, that's 240 credits. You need 230 to graduate, so you should be it should be definitely on track and manageable to graduate high school so long as you are passing all your classes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about graduating from high school versus being eligible for 4-year college, because they are 2 different things. So Pleasanton Unified School District has outlined course requirements and credit requirements for students in order to earn their high school diploma. The Cal State and UC system, our California State college systems, have outlined the courses required to meet their minimum eligibility standards. Some of them are the same and some of them are different. So we're going to go through it by category. So PUSD requires that you take 3.5 years worth of a social science or history credit. You'll have 1 semester of global studies, 1 year of world history, 1 year of US history, a semester of civics, and a semester of economics. The 4-year college UC Cal State system requires 2 years of history. That has to include world history and US history. So you are golden there with our requirements matching up. We require 4 years of English to graduate. The Cal States and UCs require 4 years of English in order to be admitted to college. Check. Amador, so PUSD requires 20 credits or 2 years worth of math, and 1 year has to be equivalent to Algebra 1. For 4-year colleges, they want to see more math than that. They require 3 years. They require at least Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And we recommend, and the colleges recommend, a 4th year of math at minimum, additionally, which would be pre-calculus. Or certainly if you're in advanced math, you could go beyond pre-calculus. But those are kind of the minimum requirements and recommendations for the 4-year colleges. When it comes to science, PUSC requires 20 credits. So 1 year of life science, 1 year of physical science. And colleges also require 2 years, 1 year of a life science with a lab. That's really important to note. At Amador, all of our science classes have labs, but if we're not talking about Amador courses, then we want to make sure that they have labs. And so colleges require, again, 2 years of science, 1 year life science with lab, 1 year physical science with lab, and they do recommend 3 or more years of science to be competitive in their admissions process. Language other Than English, so foreign language. To graduate from Pleasanton Unified School District, to graduate from Amador, you need 1 year, so 10 credits of either foreign language or a visual and performing art. Okay, so one or the other, 1 year will satisfy your graduation requirements. The UCs and the Cal States require 1 year of a visual and performing art and 2 years minimum of a foreign language, of a world language. So it's a little bit more than what you need in order to graduate. So again, you need 2 years minimum of a foreign language. 3 years is recommended. Above and beyond these minimum requirements is always going to be recommended for a more competitive admissions application. 2 years of world language for college, for 4-year colleges, and 1 year of a visual and performing art for 4-year colleges. For graduation, you just pick 1 year of either of those. Okay. PE, it is 2 years of PE is required to graduate from high school. The Cal States and UCs don't require PE at all. You will be required to take PE your freshman year. Every freshman has to take PE, so we'll talk about that in a second. We require 1 semester of health to graduate. Again, the 4-year colleges are not requiring that. And then elective credits. So elective credits are any classes you take that are above the minimum requirements. So for example, if you take are 2 years of math requirement, but then you take 2 more years of math. Those 2 more years, the third and the fourth year of math, are going to be considered elective classes. Even though they were math, they're elective credits. So hopefully that helps clarify electives a little bit. So anything you take outside of the minimum requirements are going to be considered electives, and you have room for 80 credits worth of electives that you need to earn for graduation. Colleges require 1 year of a college prep elective in addition to the other requirements. So again, let's say their requirement is 2 years of science and you take 3 years of science. That's your college, that 1 year, that extra year of science is your 1 year college prep elective. Again, we require 230 credits to graduate. The UCs and Cal States require 15 courses. You need to earn a D- or better in order to earn your credit and graduate from high school, a C- or better in order to be eligible for college admissions. We also require a speech proficiency to graduate. We do not require the SAT or ACT to graduate from high school. The Cal States and UCs prior to COVID have required an SAT or an ACT in order to apply to their schools and be admitted. They have waived that for the time being. By the time you are applying for college and that these tests would be relevant for you, things could be different. So stay tuned on that, but know that that might be something that is required for college admissions, taking an SAT or ACT. And we also require 20 hours of community service that is required to be completed. The clock starts on that the summer after junior year into your senior year, 20 credits. So those are all of our high school graduation requirements and then compared to college, for your college admission requirements. All right, so a typical 9th grade schedule looks a little bit like this. Everyone's going to have to take English. Everyone is going to have to take a semester of global studies and then a semester of health. So they can flip-flop. You might start with health and then go to global, or start with global, go to health, but those two will be matched up for you. Everybody will need to take math. Algebra 1 or higher is where you would start with your math. Everyone has to take a year of 9th grade PE. And then you basically have 2 more slots where you can choose what classes you want to put in there. Typical classes would be either continuing on in your world language or starting a world language, or putting your art elective in there. Okay, so students usually are taking either world language or art. And then in that next spot, we're often seeing students take science. It's not required to take science in 9th grade, but a lot of students are taking conceptual physics or biology, or you could also put one of our amazing electives in there to explore an interest and have some fun your freshman year. So all freshmen are required to take PE, and then fulfill the second year requirement by the time you're done with senior year. So we recommend that you take a second year of PE during your sophomore year, but you are able to waive PE through athletic participation for Amador sports, or through an outside activity application. So if you're in a competitive sport that's not run through Amador, or also 4 years of marching band will count for PE. So there are a few ways to get your PE credits, but we just require that that second year of PE is completed before the end of senior year. Math placement. So here's the way that the math sequence typically goes. If you are currently taking Math 8, you will be taking Algebra 1 next year. If you're currently taking Algebra 1, you can take Math 2 or Geometry. We also have an honors geometry. And if you're in geometry right now, you normally would take Algebra 2. And then again, we also have an honors Algebra 2. Well, that's the typical courses. If you have questions about what math class you should be taking, please talk to your current math teacher about that placement and what would be best for you. They can really walk you through what your options are and what would be a good fit based on your skill level in math. Let's talk about science. We've got several options. It is important to know that science is not required freshman year. So if you're not feeling ready for it, that is a-okay. You still have time to get in 3 years of science, which again is the minimum requirements and then some. But if you are wanting to take science, we have several options. Conceptual physics is a wonderful class for freshmen to take. It reinforces algebra and builds a strong foundation for your advanced science classes. Principles of Biomedical Science is the first course in our Project Lead the Way biomedical program. We're going to talk about the Academies in a second, but it's part of our biomedical program. So that would be something to consider if that's an interest of yours. Some students do take biology. It does require completion or concurrent enrollment in Algebra 1. It also really relies on strong reading comprehension, independent learning skills, and abstract higher level thinking skills. So it's not, it's very common for new freshmen to developmentally not quite be at that point yet. And that is, again, totally fine. But know your level of sort of reading comprehension, independent skills, critical thinking skills, and, really weigh out whether you're ready for a biology. And also the math is important there. Chemistry requires completion of algebra with a C or better. And again, is also really relying on those reading comprehension, independent learning, and problem solving skills. We do also allow freshmen to take physics if they have completed algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. So it's a very rare that a freshman would have completed all three of those math courses, but it does happen. And again, heavy reliance on those strong critical thinking skills and lots of independent learning. Other electives that you could be looking at. So for world language, we offer American Sign Language, Chinese, French, Japanese, Korean, and Spanish. Please be aware that we offer courses based on what's been requested and how many students want it. So we have to be able to run the sections, but those are the courses that we like to offer. There are some English department electives, creative writing, debate, journalism, yearbook, fantastic activities to get involved in that you can really participate in your whole 4 years of high school if you'd like. For our visual and performing arts, we have art class, digital arts, drama, band, choir, orchestra, photography, theater production, and video production. In the math department for electives, we also have computer science classes. Science, we just went over. There's leadership and AVID. Those are application and interview-based processes. So if you're interested in either of those classes, be on the lookout for those applications. And then we also have career and ROP-related courses like culinary, intro to engineering, and that's also the biomedical science is also kind of in that line of thinking, more career choice related. So you can explore your different interests in a lot of ways. Honors courses, let's talk about those for a second. We get lots of questions about honors courses. They are harder and more rigorous than our college prep classes. They move at a faster pace typically and are requiring a lot more independent work and have summer homework, so keep that in mind. Most honors courses are not getting an extra GPA bump, but colleges do consider the student challenge themselves with an honors course. So it's not for nothing, but it's not going to boost your GPA, which is always a common question. We really recommend that you only take honors courses in subjects that you really enjoy and that you've done well. They're stronger areas for you. They are, like we said, faster paced, requiring more independent learning, and more rigorous than our college prep classes. If you plan on taking band, a couple things to pay attention to. If you do not want an A period, so A period is a 7 a.m. class. So if you do not want to take class at 7 a.m., then you don't want to take an A period, but you do want to be a part of band, this is how you're going to select your courses. You're going to sign up for 4 academic courses and then also PE and concert band. Okay, so you're going to select 4 classes, PE and band, to make your 6 classes. If you do want an A period, if you do want to wake up at 7 a.m. and get to school at 7 and you want to have 7 classes, not just 6, but 7 classes in your course load for the year, you'll sign up for 5 academic classes and add band. We will add PE to your schedule at a later date. Okay, so we will add that A period PE for you. So you're still only going to sign up for 6 classes right now, but 5 of those will be your academic courses, 1 will be band, and then we'll add PE for you later. Marching band is a required course for 9th grade band members, but it's not a separate class. And Mr. Grantham and our band program will be emailing out lots of information about this as well. So please keep your eyes peeled on your email. Excuse me one sec. Okay, so we have some academies at Amador. They're basically ways for students to explore specific areas of interest and kind of progress through some curriculum around those things. And you can be recognized at graduation if you've completed a certain number of courses in these academies. So we do recommend that you reach out to the teachers in charge of these academies for more details, for all of your questions about how they work and what all of the curriculum will cover and what's required. But we have a marketing, sales, and service focus, health science and medical technology, hospitality, tourism, and rec, arts, media, and entertainment, information and communication technologies, education, child development, and family services. So many incredible classes through our academies and our ROP program. So you can contact Mr. Dennis, Ms. Bowe, or Ms. Farthing for more information on these academies. They are the ones in charge. In our College and Career Center, we have so many resources for you. So Ms. Bays and Ms. Woodworth are in our College and Career Center. Ms. Woodworth is also our ROP specialist, so any ROP class, she's going to be the one you're working with. Between the two of them, the office is staffed every day, and it's available daily to all students. So we do college rep visits there. It says pre-recorded because right now during COVID times, they are video recordings of our college rep visits, but hopefully at some point we'll get back to in-person visits. You can get information on ROP classes, on the SAT and ACT, on various colleges and how to find colleges that are a good fit for you. We have a Google Classroom, so you can check that out. Lots of wonderful resources about how to go about determining your college and career path, how to apply, how to get there. It's a fantastic resource that we have for our students. And Naviance is a really great online platform that we have that is geared towards college and career readiness. Within Naviance, you can find scholarships, research colleges, sign up for college rep visits, create a resume, explore your learning styles, explore careers, majors, so many great resources as you're trying to pursue and figure out, what do I want to do after high school? So we help walk students through Naviance and use this as a resource with them over the 4 years, but it's always something that you have accessible to you as well. Okay, I think I'm handing it over to Miss Yu now. So hopefully that was helpful information, and I can't wait to connect with you on campus next year.
Hi, this is Miss Yu, and I'm tapping in to finish this presentation for you all. When thinking of scheduling for high school, it's important to embrace balance and keep that word in mind and avoid burnout. Here are some things for you to think about when planning for your freshman courses. Use your middle school years as a gauge. How did you do during middle school? Were the grades earned better or worse than you expected? Were the courses that you selected too easy, too challenging? And how were our time management during our middle school years? Did you get enough sleep? Did you have to sacrifice certain things to be successful? Think about your participation in clubs, sports, or band, or any other commitments you plan on doing during high school, and how that can impact your schedule and your mental health. Lastly, ask yourself these questions before choosing your classes. If I take one less rigorous course, will my other grades improve? What are my priorities? Will I be sacrificing what's important to me by taking more challenging courses? And what do you like about school? We want you to like school. We want you to enjoy high school. And we have to keep in mind, what we like and what are things that we're interested in and passionate about. And hopefully our course selections will align to that. Your goal should be challenge. Your goal should be to be challenged, but not overwhelmed. Aim for balance. Students should be taking courses with increasing rigor each year and maintaining strong grades throughout those classes. Straight A's and the hardest possible schedule is not required. Colleges are looking for consistent growth and challenge over time, and not just overwhelming rigor right out of the gate. It's all relative to your own upward trajectory. We all have different capabilities and strengths, so keep that in mind when you're selecting your courses for high school. If you are balanced, your grades will be reflective of that. Choose your courses wisely. Don't sign up for more than you can handle. If you do change your mind into the school year, there may not be places to move you. So it's important that when selecting our courses for the following year, that we're really giving it a lot of thought and keeping school life balance in mind. As you plan your classes, you can use this 4-year plan template to help you plan. It's available on our counseling website under the tab Academic Planning. As you can see, it includes the PUSD graduation requirements. It includes the CSU and UC minimum eligibility requirements. So that information is helpful for you to then plan out your 4 years at high school. It's a great tool to use. This is me. I am the support counselor at Amador Valley High School. My primary role is to provide social, emotional, and personal support to any student, regardless of what their last name begins with. The support counselor role is unique to our high school campuses. I'm available to all students, so I do like to say to students, technically you have access to 2 counselors. Their assigned counselor based off of their last name and me. But keep in mind, all counselors can still see you for support. We all work together as a team to really address the needs of students, to help them with their college and career questions, to help them with their academic planning, to also really help ensure that their mental health and well-being is also being addressed. Our Wellness Center was established in the late 2019. It's a large, comfortable space located near the library on campus. And the mission of the AV Wellness Center is to improve the health, well-being, and educational outcomes of AVHS students through the promotion of healthy lifestyles and coordinating early intervention, health and mental health, substance abuse, and other support services at the school site. The specific hours for the Wellness Center is on the slide. For remote learning, we had a virtual wellness center that was established. And the virtual wellness center is a website that houses a lot of great mental well-being, mental health related resources for students to access. What are students doing in the wellness center? Again, the intention behind having this space was so that students throughout the day can have access to it if they feel like they're overwhelmed, they need a 15-minute break to just de-stress, to kind of reset their body or their minds. Students are allowed to stay for 15 minutes maximum. And the intention is if the student needs more time to work through what's going on, they will then be diverted to talk to a counselor. The Wellness Center is really just a space for students to practice an evidence-based coping strategy, to rest or meditate. They could read. There's some reading material focused on coping in the Wellness Center. There's coloring and drawing supplies. You can try a calming app. But what students aren't allowed to do at the Wellness Center is to just hang out and socialize. That's not the intention for the Wellness Center. You're not allowed to just sleep there. You're not allowed to do your homework. You're not allowed to have your phone. It's a phone-free zone. And you're really, again, using those 15 minutes wisely and practicing different strategies to really help you decompress, de-stress, and just work on perhaps regulating your emotions during that time. We also hold workshops in the Wellness Center. We've held workshops about coping skills and self-care in the past. We've done many yoga workshops that's often led by our wonderful student who is also a certified yoga trainer. We also have done grief support groups in our Wellness Center. It's just a great space for us to kind of offer some wellness related workshops. So keep in mind, attend a workshop during Access. It's highly recommended. It's a great way to get to connect with other students, and it's a great way to connect with your counselors as well. You're able to also access your counselors by submitting an appointment request form. You can submit an appointment request form to see your assigned counselor, or you can select, or you can choose to make an appointment with me, your support counselor, and we'll call you in as soon as we can. So please be patient with us. And if we are still remote in the 2021 to 22 school year, you may sign up for an appointment using Calendly. That's been the platform we've been using for students to book appointments with us. You can email your counselor if you have a quick question. We're accessible by email. And lastly, you can drop in during brunch or lunch for quick questions or to see if you can catch your counselor for a bit to chat. Here is a slide with some helpful links. There's a link for scheduling information. We're going to be providing more general information regarding that. Here's a link to the program guide, which is also available on our school website. It talks about all the course offerings we have and the descriptions, in case you were wondering what the class is all about. Course selection sheet, there will be a physical course selection sheet that's available for students to look at. But again, most course selection will be taking place virtually through Q Student Connect. There are also course information videos that you can watch to learn a little bit more about electives and certain courses. There will be a balance versus burnout video that will be shared with students. Again, it's so important to be mindful to avoid burnout, because we do see that quite a bit. And then lastly, for your planning, everything you need to begin planning for your high school courses. Student Connect is open to select courses during this time frame, February 20th to March 7th. Your username will be your student ID number, and your password will be your Q and PUSD Gmail password. And keep in mind, though, there's not necessarily a benefit to put your classes right away on February 20th. It's just important to have selections in before March 7th. So rather than rush to complete everything on the first day, maybe take some time again to incorporate the balance theme and really make sure that your choices that you're making is beneficial to you. And then keep in mind, once it hits March 7th, it's locked. So you won't be able to make changes at that time. And then after that time frame, you will then receive an email in late March or early April that outlines what choices you've made. And you will have an opportunity then, before the next school year starts, to make changes. Here are some more important dates to keep in mind. Again, the course selection windows from February 20th through March 7th. There's no benefit to just finishing everything on February 20th. You might want to take a little bit more time to kind of think about your schedule selections. As long as it's in before midnight on March 7th, then you're going to be good. February 28th is the deadline to submit your AVID application if you're hoping to be part of AVID during your high school career. And the interviews will be conducted most likely that first week of March. So if you did sign up for AVID, make sure you're checking your email regularly to confirm dates or receive updates. And like I mentioned before, confirming letters will be sent to families late March or early April. And that will be a time where you can make changes if you made a mistake or there's been an error in your course selection. You're able to, or if you just change your mind, you're able then to submit a schedule change request form before the next school year to make changes then. Here are some frequently asked questions. How do I know what math I should take? You can review the math placement chart or speak with your current math teacher. They kind of know how you're doing in their class, and they might have a good gauge on what your capabilities are, and they might make a great suggestion. What if I want to take an outside course? As always, if you take a course outside of our district, you will need to submit official transcript from that school to all colleges to which you apply. So you do have to keep that in mind as seniors. You have to keep in mind where you've taken these courses. You have to have official transcripts for all of them to then send to the colleges that you apply to. And placing an outside course on our transcript does not make it official. And colleges may wonder why you took an outside course that we offer here and Amador. They may question that. And once an outside course is added to our transcript, it cannot be removed. So keep that in mind. Do I have to take PE in ninth grade? Yes, all freshmen are required to take PE. You will also need to complete an additional year of PE, but you can choose to take it during your sophomore, junior, or senior year. Where can I find AVH's graduation requirements? It's available on our website, so feel free to check that out. And what if you earn a D or an F? How do you make it up if it's a graduation requirement? So you can either attend summer school through PUSD, or you can make up the course during the regular school year at AVHS. Your counselors will be communicating all that information with you if you were to earn a D or F in a course. Where do I start my college and career research? So as a freshman, if you're already thinking about maybe post-high school plans, because maybe that will then determine what courses you select during your high school career, you can use Naviance in California Career Zone. They're very popular college exploration platforms that you can check out. Of course, you're also available to visit our physical College and Career Center located in the main office to talk to our college and career counselor. Do I need 2 years of world language and 1 year of fine art to graduate? Nope, you need 1 year of a world language or 1 year of a fine art. However, both are required for most four-year college entrants. So if four-year college is something that you're planning for, you will have to make sure that you are taking both of those requirements. And lastly, do I have to take science and a language other than English as a freshman? Nope, you can wait until your sophomore year before taking science and world language. So again, keeping balance in mind. Maybe you feel like freshman year will be a great time to venture into taking a high school science course or even a language other than English. Or you can kind of give yourself some time and start taking it sophomore year. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Learn more about your AVHS courses directly from our teachers here. The link includes a lot of videos that our teachers have made, a lot of screencasts that showcase and highlights some important information about certain courses. So again, if you have more questions about a specific course, check out this link below, and there may be a great video that was completed by the actual teacher that's teaching it. So check that out. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your day.